Macca's Guides.
Hey everyone, Macca here playing Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies, and in this video I'm going to show you how to do the main Easter egg on the map Terminus. I'll try to cover everything as quickly as I can without wasting your time, so here we go. Step 1 will be to just open up the facility and power up the Pack-a-Punch room. That's super easy, just follow the mission objective markers. After that, you're going to need access to the wonder weapon, the Beam Smasher, for the level. There's a couple of ways to do this. You can get lucky through a mystery box. You can grab the Wonder Bar Gobble Gum in order to up your chances of pulling it from a mystery box. Or the option that most people are going to use is to build it yourself using the research office. Grab a weapon with dead wire on it and shoot the 5 electrical boxes to enter the research office. Take out the enemy here in order to grab their fob, and this allows you to grab the multi-phasic resonator. I have a separate video that goes into a lot more detail about each of these steps if you feel like this video is kind of glazing it over a little too quickly. After that, you can visit the 3 laptop locations on the map to get the symbols for X, Y, and Z. Go back to the research office to put the post-it notes onto the little computer there. At this point, you can either just bribe Peck with 5,000 credits to give you the 3-digit code to enter into the computer, or you can solve the equations on the board. You'll take the left board and match the symbols for X, Y, and Z to the board based on this image. This will allow you to assign values to X, Y, and Z, which you plug into the equations on the right side to get your first, second, and third number. Once you do that, you can put the code into the computer. If it's correct, you'll be able to go 1 round further, and this will allow you to then pull out the multi-phasic resonator back out of the machine. With the multi-phasic resonator, we're now ready to go to 3 islands in a specific order. The first one we'll visit is Castle Rock Island. You'll see a blue orb here, which you'll want to interact with to put your resonator inside. This will begin a little bit of a mini game where zombies start attacking you. Some of them will get shocked by the orb, and if you kill them, they'll drop a small energy orb on the ground, which you can then pick up and deliver to the large blue orb. You have to do this 3 times to finish off the blue orb, and then you can take your multi-phasic resonator back onto the boat. The second island you'll want to visit is Crab Island. I believe that's at the southern end of the map, and we're going to repeat this process, but this time the orb will be green. Kill enemies, fill up the orb with the energy 3 total times, and then you're able to pull it away. Last but not least, we're going to repeat this process on Temple Island. This time the orb will be purple. Repeat this process 3 times, and now you'll be able to pick up a newly named item called the Amp Munition. With these steps done, you can return to the research office to craft the Beam Smasher Wonder Weapon. If you got one through a mystery box or a different method, you would be able to skip this step and save yourself a couple of rounds. With your newly acquired Wonder Weapon, you're going to want to go and activate one of the tentacle traps. I'd recommend one of the 2 in the Bio Lab. And then you're going to aim at the tentacles as they appear. And don't get grabbed by them, but use your Wonder Weapon to shoot them to spawn a hard drive. If it doesn't spawn, try the other trap. This is the next item you need, and we're going to take this hard drive back to Peck and trade it in. After delivering the hard drive, you want to go back down to the biolab and interact with the item right in the middle of the room. And if you interact with the window, you'll see Nathan inside. This can start the next step. Just wait for the little cinematic to end. In order to basically unlock this, we're going to need a 3-digit code. The first digit to the code is found in the interrogation rooms. You're going to look through the mesh wire on the clock on the wall. Use the small hand, which is the hours hand, to tell the time, and the first digit will be the hour on that clock. The second digit is available in the mess hall. You'll find a pinned playing card to the corkboard. That's your second number. Your third number is inside of the engineering room, and you'll see days since last accident. In my case, it's 4. You can then take these numbers back down to the biolab and input them into the keypad. In my case, it was 764. If done correctly, it'll unlock, and then all players in your game can interact with the valves on the side of this pod. And it must be done all at the same time. This will start a kind of mini-boss, which is quite difficult, so make sure you are well equipped. You're going to have to shoot Nathan here. It's going to do a decent amount of damage, but if you fail to do damage for a prolonged period of time, their health will regenerate. You're also looking to shoot the crit spots as much as possible. and just take your time here, making sure you can survive. You can try to use your wonder weapon to slow him down, although I'm not really sure if it's very effective, and when you take him out, it will start a cutscene. After that cutscene, what you'll want to do is dive into the water, and in the water, you'll be able to find a key card. With the key card in hand, let's go ahead and run up to communications and interact with the computer here, holding X for about 5 seconds until the screen changes. Once the screen changes, let's hop on a boat and go into the shipwreck. Just enter from the side and head up the ladder. As you do this, you'll find some containers on the desk. You'll want to grab both of them, but doing so will start a lockdown in this area, so make sure you are well equipped to take on some zombies. There are 4 exits, so you can kind of camp each exit with each person, so you'll want to do that. If you survive the lockdown, the hatch should open up. Make sure you grab the node connectors with you. We have 2 node connectors, and we're going to have to visit 3 pipelines and find the 2 that aren't currently working and install the node connectors at those pipelines. So the first one here is kind of southeast from the shipwreck on the island right near the shoreline. You'll see if the pipe is not connected, you'll have to install a node connector here to get it going. The second location you want to check is right underneath the sea tower by the docks. Again, if there's a missing node connector, go ahead and repair it. The third and final location you can check is in the sea caves, not far from the speed cola. And if this one's broken, repair it as well. All 3 should now work, and this starts the next step. You'll want to head up back to Peck's station, and here through the window, he should give you a hacking device. This is the next item we need for the next step. Some of the next steps are on a timer, so make sure you can do them all quickly and in succession. You'll want to start by getting into a boat, and we're going to have to find 3 buoys out in the water, and we're going to have to use the hacking device on those buoys. They're pretty easy to locate, pretty much out in the middle of the water between some of the islands. One person's going to have to jump out of the boat into the water and use the hacking device, and you're going to have to do all 3 of them within a 2-minute timer, or else it will restart, which isn't the worst. But after you complete all 3 buoys, there is a much more important timer to worry about. After you hack the 3 buoys, you want to very quickly and efficiently go back to the bio lab. Here, a 5-minute timer will start where you will have to defuse 3 bombs. And if you don't defuse them in time, the game automatically ends and you have to restart. The spawns for the bombs are the same every time from what I know, and they're found on the outside edges of the biolab. So just make sure you run around and grab them all before that 5-minute timer reaches 0. This is pretty much the final step before going for the final boss, but there is a little bit of prep work to do before that. We would basically recommend getting kitted out, which basically just means buying all of the perks that you would normally want to have, increasing your weapon rarity to as high as you can have it, and you'll basically need Pack-a-Punch level 3 weapons, or you really don't do any damage. Once your squad is ready, go ahead and interact with the panel on the wall in the biolab. Everyone has to vote if they're ready, and this should allow you to start the boss fight. You'll spawn near the shoreline, and for the first phase, you'll have to shoot the boss in the glowing red parts of its body, making sure to watch out for the slam attacks, which cause a lot of damage. You can also try to damage the tentacle arms in the background if they are glowing yellow. We also were able to summon a chopper gunner, which did a ton of damage, although one of our chopper gunners was also immediately destroyed, so I'm not sure when it's useful and when it's not useful. And if at any point you do end up behind the boss, you can always jump in the water to get back in front of it. The wonder weapon is basically useless against the boss itself, but it is incredibly useful in the crowd control of all of the zombies that will be trying to attack you. Once you get it down to about 2/3 of its health, it will end the current phase, allowing you to shoot the tentacles in the back to resummon the monster. It will now take a slightly different form, and you'll be able to shoot the yellow bits in order to continue doing damage to it. Once you do enough damage to the rock form, it'll go back to its original form, and you're going to repeat what we did earlier, which is just basically shoot its shoulder bulbs. I did try to use the wonder weapon to see if it was helping my teammates with boss damage, but it doesn't seem to be. When the boss has 33% health left, it will again disappear, and you're going to shoot the tentacles in the background in order to summon it back. This time it'll have a new form where it glows blue, and this attack summons a giant orb above its head. When that orb explodes, it will one-shot everyone in its path, so you're going to need to hide behind something when it explodes. While the boss is sitting there and charging the orb, it is very susceptible to getting lit up, and this is when the chopper gunner was extremely helpful, allowing us to melt the final 10%. Once it's done, it should have a cutscene to let you know that you've completed the Easter egg. Your achievement or trophy should unlock. Similar to Liberty Falls, when you complete this Easter egg, you can either exit in order to basically end your zombies mode, or you can continue playing, which will bring you back to your current round, restart you at the beginning, allowing you to have new gold weapons and a couple of pickups along the way. Thank you so much for watching. I hope the video was helpful. Drop a like if it was. Share the video with a friend. A super special thank you to everyone on Patreon for supporting the show. I'll see you soon. Peace.